Pacific Rim, the Black, is actually one. I haven't seen this one. It's a 3D one as well. So I got mixed feelings about it. I haven't seen this one, but I did see Pacific Rim 1 and 2, and I love them both. Like I love them so much. I love specific Pacific Rim so much that I actually tried to find some more lore behind the monsters, and lore behind the story. It's not my favorite. I do use the term favorite a lot, but it's not my favorite. But it's way up there on my list of must watch. Then again, I'm easily satisfied with pretty much anything that I watch. Lately, I actually wanted to binge watch what's it called? All of the Harry Potters. I really want to binge watch it, and not just like watch one and then watch the other one next day. No, no, no. I'm talking about sit down and watch them all with the bookkeeper, and just all of them, because they're. I feel like it's whimsical. Is if it's the proper word I'm looking for. It's very whimsical. Something that I think anyone could really get behind. And but aside from all the fantasy and fairy tales, I have always liked Pacific Rim, and I've always wanted more. I've always there's a few theories that if you haven't seen it, there's a few theories that there's the rabbit hole goes a little bit deeper than what you would see on it. Kind of like how lately I've been watching a lot of theories on Coraline. Coraline is one of those stop motion clay animations, which who doesn't love clay animation? I heard someone told me actually that they were afraid of claymation. They were always creepy. I guess it's so realistic. The motions are so smooth. It makes you think, what if just a clay figure? You just walking down the road and you see a clay figure like shambling like in your direction. That yeah, I understand. I understand how that could freak you out. Pacific Rim is supposed to be a 3D animation, and like I said before, I'm not a big fan of 3D. I really not. Like there's I think there might have been one 3D animation that I really liked that I could easily get behind. But this one I'm afraid to give it a chance. Yeah, I said it. I said it. I am afraid to give this a chance because I want it to be. I really want it to be good. I really want it to be good, but I'm not a big fan of Netflix, and I'm not a big fan of 3D. And I really want this to be good. The because the animation, the animation looks really good. Not this one. This one looks what I expect from a 3D animation. It looks mm, basic. It looks basic. Yeah. The suits look cool though. Give them that much. Now, if I could imagine what she's looking at, is she just witnessed? They both just witnessed someone put pineapple on pizza. Just like, what is that? That is exactly the. I'm kidding. I like pineapple on pizza. Okay, I'm just taking shots. But it's a what's another picture that I have? I have I have this one. I think this one's what really makes me want to watch it. Like this shot right here makes me really want to give it a chance, because you got the adorable white-haired character, and then you got the other one who's mean, like a different uh personality. Like you got someone who's adorable with someone who's like mean, someone soft with someone mean. Like I think that's a great combination in terms of character development. Well, not even character development, just character in general. When you have these two characters, that's one of the reasons why they want to put Spider-Man with Brie Larson. No, not Brie Larson. Brie Larson's Captain Marvel. uh, because like from what I've heard, Captain Marvel, Brie Larson's Captain Marvel isn't very liked, so they wanted to put some like a Spider-Man with her, like so they could be like a a duo team, like crime fighting team. But I'm not really sure how that would play out. I think it would work. I think it would work on certain with certain under certain conditions, but specifically under certain conditions. And that's if they didn't have Brie Larson as Captain Marvel. If they use someone else. And yeah. And I don't got anything against Brie Larson or anything like that. I think she's a great actress. Like she's awesome. However, I don't think her and Captain Marvel goes hand in hand. Uh, not at all. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. Mm-mm. But but the two dynamic, but like the two dynamic is what Brie Larson would bring to the table, with a little bit more rough, a little bit more like sure of herself, and then you have Spider Man, who's a little bit more lovable, much more lovable. Like that dynamic does make an amazing combination, which helps tell a great story. So seeing this picture alone really makes me wonder what's like what kind of character development is there, and I'm interested. It really makes me interested. I mean, and on top of that, I haven't seen a good mech anime or show in a while. I don't think there's anything that really. Well, there was Evangelion, Neon Genesis Evangelion, something that I really do love. Like it's dark. It had the same kind of darkness that Gundam had. Gundam, like I forgot which Gundam it was, but it was a Gundam series that had, what was it? That had, what was it? Oh yeah, it had the like these kids who didn't want to, like who like this orphanage or something like that, and they didn't want to live in oppression anymore of some kind. It's been a while, and they all of them like took up arms against like the like this organization or what was something. They just took up arms, and it didn't. And the story ended in a way that didn't leave a bitter taste in your mouth, but it just like, and it didn't necessarily leave you wanting more, but it ended in a way where I don't think anyone really expected it to end. Yeah, yeah. No one really. I didn't expect it to end that way, like in the way it did, and that's what I find a little bit hard for a lot of stories, is that a lot of stories they don't necessarily it they might find it hard to leave the their reader or the viewer on their toes like throughout the whole show, because a lot of people, they're like very clever. They say, oh, I already know what's going to happen, this is going to happen, this and then that. But a good story would make it in a way where like you don't really see it coming. I think one of the shows that was really close to doing that was, what was it? It was, yeah, what was it? It was like that Let It Go, Frozen. There it is. I had to say Frozen. I had to say Let It Go. It was Frozen that did it that way. And at the end of like Frozen, the first one at least, cause I don't remember, I don't think I saw the second one. It was, it was, it ended in a way where like, huh, didn't see that coming. I didn't think this would. It's been it's been out for a while. what happened in Frozen was the prince that she was supposed to marry or something like that tried to kill her. Big plot twist. I did not see that coming, and that was, I mean, I did not see that coming at all. But yeah, being able to keep the reader and the viewer on their toes, and not like like not get them in the position where they know what's going to happen next. That's that's what I can see as the hard part. Then again, I don't personally have that mindset when I watch like shows. I turn off my brain and I just enjoy it. But after the show, I don't even turn it back on in terms of like trying to nitpick everything. I just what you'll normally find me do is try to find more. If it's a really good show, a really good movie, I'll try to find more lore behind it, like Pacific Rim, for example. What's another? I know it was Coraline. Coraline is another example. Like Coraline is just this small little show, like a little movie that originally started how it, like, because it was a book and it was written. The guy who wrote it, he wrote it for his daughter. However, he was taking so long to write it that he eventually wrote it for his other daughter who was younger, because his daughter wanted a story, like a story, like a scary story, because she liked scary stories. And crazy person who just likes scary stuff. I hate scary stuff. And and so he eventually wrote it for his other daughter and everything. And a lot of the stuff that's in the book was actually in the house that his daughter grew up in, like the little door, and he added that to the book. And but in the end, I was watching a lot of lore, like deeper lore behind it, to try to find some more like meaning, in terms of like is there, could there possibly be more? Like I don't know. And when I saw Pacific Rim having this new animation, I was like, oh wow, that's awesome. Are they going to come out with, is it going to explain more about the aliens, what's going on in their world and all that fun stuff? It's kind of like how I saw with Kids Next Door. Kids Next Door went on for so long, and number one, he went on to be a part of the Galactic Kids Next Door, the representative of Earth, because apparently there's other kids on other planets. And but the problem is, Cartoon Network decided not to take them up on that extra, like the extra, the continuation of the Kids Next Door, because I think it was a little bit more story based, a little bit too story based for a project that they wanted to take. Is what I'm thinking, because a lot of the shows, they don't follow too much story. They just want they just want more like gaffs and goofs, like one-off episodes, uh, and that's one of the things that, what's it called? That's one of the things that Rick and Morty spoke of at some point down the road, because they were, and also what's the other show? South Park. South Park was the same way, a little bit the same way. Like these two shows, they wanted to do something more, like tell a story, but they were afraid to tell a story simply because, oh, I wouldn't say afraid, but nervous about telling a story because it might derail the whole situation. A lot of TV networks, they want less story. They want less story, and then more just like goofs and gaffs. Like, hey, guess what happened this week, or guess what happened next week, or guess what happened the next week. And it doesn't really, it's not fulfilling for a lot of creators out there, I would assume. So, and I think that's where places like Netflix really like come in handy. Like from what I can see, like a lot of shows that I'm aware of that Netflix or Hulu have, they have, a lot of, they seem more focused on telling a story. And that's where I'm kind of hopeful for. Um, what another, but the ones I'm really hopeful for is are like, shows like Hell Boss, or what was it? There's a few like animated YouTube series that are slowly taking form. Like they only have one episode or two episodes out at the moment, um, and it's amazing. Like I'm really excited for it because these creators seem like they really want to focus on more story, like well, with some goofs and gaps, but more story based to it. Like really, get into more lore kind of things, and that's one of the things I'm really excited for. You don't really see that much with a lot of shows nowadays. The I'm just worried about like for Pacific Rim really is how it'll turn out because it looks pretty nice. I like big robots and all that fun stuff. I think it's really cool, but I will give it a try. I might watch it tonight to see how it turns out, like what it looks like. But so far, just looking at it, it looks pretty good. Will it be better than Evangelion? Probably not in terms of story. Probably not in terms of story. Evangelion was a little bit more uh what you might find in what's it called Gundam. A little bit darker. I was told that Gundam was created by a creator who preferred the more darker kind of thing. Uh, so I'm not really sure how dark this would be able to get. Huh. I'm not really sure. But I really do I'm really interested in watching it because I really want to see more into what the aliens got going on. Why did they attack Earth? Why are they, fighting each other instead of just like, like, yeah, why did these alien want to expand? Because I know at the end of like the Pacific Rim, they sent a bomb into the portal and blew up the other side. Spoilers, apparently. This has been out for quite a while. Sent the bomb to the other side and blew up the other side, but it doesn't mean that they're not going to be back, you know. And some even say that his brother might still be alive on the other side. So you never know. But I think with this animation, like because with 3D animation, it's much easier to get out there in terms of movies. It's a little bit easier to put out. So when you have something like this, it could really help create more income for a new movie. Get the ball rolling and all that fun stuff. And so that's another reason why I'm so excited about what's going on with this show, this series. Yeah, series. That's one another reason because when you have all this money coming in, they can do more like in terms of merchandise, and they can do more in terms of the merchandise would help create more lore because so I have high hopes